So hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. I'm back out in the same part that I was in a couple of days ago on my last vlog, and the reason I'm here really is just because I want to test out the Canon EOS RP a little bit further. I'm planning on using the focus bracketing mode within the camera today to see if I can capture some interesting landscape images. Before I do that though, just one little piece of housekeeping that I want to clear up before we move on. I've been looking at my video analytics for my recent vlogs in the last few days, and what I've discovered is there's quite a lot of people who are watching my vlogs but not subscribed. I don't mind that, I'm quite happy with that. In fact, it's great to have you along and have your support by watching my videos in the first place. I really appreciate that. But I would also appreciate it if you could possibly consider subscribing, and there's many ways that you can do that. You can either click on the subscribe button underneath the video, that's if you're watching on a laptop. If you're watching on a TV screen, or if you're watching on your laptop on full screen mode, if you just click at the bottom left hand corner of the screen, you'll see three little dots. As you press those, just next to those there's a circle with my face in it, and that's my channel. If you click on there, you'll see a subscribe button as well on the channel. As well as that, on the bottom right hand corner of this video you should see a YouTube playhead. If you scroll over that, it will turn into a subscribe button, and you can press that subscribe button from the video and subscribe directly. So I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe whilst you're watching this video, and possibly give the video a thumbs up. I'm back at a lake, a pond that I was at a few videos back when I was talking about the Canon 1DS Mark III, and I've come back to this spot purely and simply because I love this spot. As I turn around, just behind me you will see on the opposite side of the lake there's a row of woodland trees, and before the trees there's this area of banking, and then there's a bit of a wall along the edge of the lake, and then I've got the lake itself with all the reflections in it. I'd like to try and capture a shot of that, but obviously there's quite a lot of depth in that image, and I also would like to open up the aperture quite wide, so it means that I'm going to have to make sure I get my focus spot on here. So I'm going to use the focus bracketing option in the camera and see if I can capture something here. Well, that was quite interesting. I've just been having a chat to a guy from a local photography group, and they were just out here today just walking around. None of them had the cameras, which is quite a surprise. But they were literally just having a wander around, and one of the guys got talking to me and asked what I was doing. So he's invited me to join up with their photography group, which is a couple of miles away from here. I might do that. It's a bit far away from where I live to actually get to it every day, but it's something that might be quite an interesting thing to do, perhaps once a week or once a fortnight or something. So I'll have a look into that when I get back home. In the meantime, I've stopped here at the side of this path because behind me, what I've noticed, there are some trees at the side of the path, and I like the look of this tree here, which is kind of bent over, and the other side of that there are several silver birch trees, which are not easy to see just here. But what I've noticed is in the gap underneath there, in between the trees, there are quite a lot of ferns on the ground, which are making quite a nice interesting shot. They create kind of a middle ground to the shot really. So what I'd like to do is use the focus bracketing here and get a shot kind of where everything from front to back is in focus. So I'll probably be shooting perhaps 50 shots with this, and then I'll stack them all together in Photoshop at the end of the day and make one image out of them. But the reason I'm using so many shots is because there's quite a lot of depth from front to back. Although it doesn't look very deep, there's so much going on with each of the different ferns that to get everything in focus it needs to I have quite a large number of shots, so I'll be looking at 50 here and then see how that works at the end of the day. One more thing while I'm here as well, I think I'm going to try and break out all three of my different lenses. I've got a 50mm, I've got a 17 to 40mm, and I've got a 70 to 300mm, which I've been using for years now. And the idea here is that I don't know exactly which of those is going to give me the best crop or composition. So what I'd like to do is just try all three of those and see which is going to be the best at the end of the day. Well, it turns out the 50mm was no use for that shot anyway. The 17 to 40mm looked quite good, and then when I got the longer 70 to 300mm lens out, what I discovered was that it was probably better to focus in on the silver birch trees themselves and leave those kind of in the left hand third of the image. And what that has meant is that I've focused on the silver birch trees, and all the ferns around the base of the trees are all in focus as well, because I've used an f/16 aperture, which has given me a very wide depth of field, so everything's in focus, hopefully. But also I shot with the 17 to 40mm. I captured a shot at 40mm at f4, and I've focus bracketed these, so I hope you like those images. So I'm at an area known as the Jamboree Stone. Just in front of where I'm standing there is a stone. In fact, if I turn around just here, you can see just under this tree here there's a stone, which is the Jamboree Stone. But as I turn back to the other side of the path, there's a field that I wanted to walk around and have a look at, but I can't really, because there seems to be quite a lot of moo-moos there, and quite a few of them are lying down, so I think the weather's going to turn. But I'll keep going anyway. There's an ice cream man just across the road as well, so I might get myself a nice ice cream, and then I'm going to head back. I think there might only be one or two more shots after this. Well, this is quite interesting. I've never stopped here before. I was walking along the path, which is up here. You see where that light is coming through? The path is just beyond there, and I was walking along that path back to in the direction that I was started, so I could head back home, and I discovered this little opening off the path, and as I've walked down through here, through this opening towards where I am now, I've discovered there's a little spot just over my shoulder where there's a bench. Obviously people do walk through here fairly regularly, so there's a bench there for people to sit on, and there are trees all around, and I quite liked this tree here, the bench, and just on the ground here there appears to be, if I can find it, just behind me, a little bit of a dip in the middle of the path which kind of runs along here, and it looks like it's where water may have been running kind of down the hill, and I'm kind of stood the opposite side of this little bit of a dip here from the path down this hill, and I'm looking across at the bench and this bench and this tree behind me, so I kind of want to capture something there, and I like the trees in the background there as well, so I'm going to see if I can get a wide angle shot of that and see what that looks like. Hopefully it'll be fairly good, and again I'm going to use the focus bracketing mode here because I want to see how it looks with something like this in a woodland. It may be something that I can use again in the future. So I've come back to a spot where I was a couple of days ago. I'm actually at this lake that I was at when I was shooting a tree, and there were a bunch of teenage lads on pedalos on the pond messing around. That was actually over on the opposite side of the pond here, and the tree itself is somewhere around there. I don't know if you can see it. It's just along the edge of the pond over there. So I've come back to the opposite side of the pond now, because just behind me there's kind of an outlet just here at the edge of the pond where all the water leaks out and can be controlled. But just to the edge of that there are hundreds of lilies growing up at the side, and I wanted to try and get the long lens out and capture one of these lilies while I'm here, and I think that's going to be the last shot of the day. So I hope you enjoyed those shots of those lilies there. I took 2 or 3 of them because I couldn't decide which was the best composition, so I hope you like them. That's it for this week's vlog, or should I say for today's vlog. I'm going to obviously be shooting several more vlogs again over the next few days with this camera, because I've got to try and work out how to use it really now that I've got it. So if you've enjoyed this vlog, please like and remember to subscribe if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, and I'll see you again on another video very soon. Bye for now.